So in our last class, we had discussed the growth of service sector. Now we had discussed that now the growth of service sector is a global trend, and there are different economies all over the world which have already become service economies, and there are many more which are following the same trend. So, and we had discussed some of the points by giving some of the details from the research that has been done, how there has been growth in the service sector. So in our today's session, we shall see the reasons for growth of service sector, or what are the main factors which has been a driving force in becoming the in becoming economists a service based economy. Now we can observe that the service sector it has been seeing substantial growth in many economies. Now the changing economic, social and also technological scenarios have contributed to the growth of service in many aspects, and it has also contributed in many respects. Now the growth in the trade within and across countries have also contributed to this. The potential capacity of services in exploiting especially the optimum value of productive resources and the intensified competition that we can see across the sectors, and also the realization of value of services by major part of the society, it has created and enhanced the demand of services. Now the reasons for the growth of service sector can be attributed to the growth in the intermediate demand from firms and the final demand that the service sector is getting from the ultimate customers. So, the reasons we can further categorize into intermediate demand from firms and final demand from customers. So, these are the main two things how we can segregate the reasons. First one is intermediate demand. Now, these demand represents to the demands that the service providing industries gets from the intermediaries, like might be wholesalers, the retailers, or anybody between the chain. Now the final demand from customers, it represents the demand that the sector is getting from the final customer. Now speaking about the first one, that is intermediate demand from the firms. Now we can see that manufacturing firms, they have realized how important to have staff function, especially when line managers suboptimal performance in decision making relates to operational activities and the growth of the business is connected with one another. So manufacturing firms, after understanding this importance, have started bundling a number of services, especially service functions such as selling, market research, advertising, and also the labor welfare, the human resource development, and it is also in the field of financial advisors or strategic advisors and so on. The growth of computation and also the pace of change that is happening in consumer exposure and expectations that is forced. Now all this expectation has forced organization to look for specialized services that can be given to the customers and thereby they can retain them. Now manufacturing companies they started unbundling themselves by way of closing support service departments to benefit from the highly specialized support services of outside organizations. So the concept of self-reliance by the way of minimizing the or by avoiding dependence on others was used by firms especially to reduce uncertainties and to maintain confidentiality and thereby grow big in both both in quantitative terms and qualitative terms. So the professional service companies which are offering quality services at a relatively low price compared to the production cost of service departments inside the manufacturing companies. Now these further they could concentrate more on their core competences to retain a sustained competitive advantage. Now, the way of specialist services during the last 3 decades has changed management philosophies and encouraged them to outsource many services. Now, service companies they also require specialized service from micro level professional support service companies. Hence, the demand for these special services has gone up as we can observe. So, these are some of the intermediate demand of the firms. Now, let us see the final demand from customers. Now, even the direct demand that the organizations get from customers for a variety of services has also increased. So the what we can tell, the marginal utilities from goods has diminished, uh, at least in a relative sense, and services have grown in importance. Now people spend more and more on services. The demand for health service uh, or like polygon laser service, travel, entertainment, sports, and the like have registered a significant growth in recent years. Now, some of the reasons that we can discuss are what has been given in your slide. Now, once again, this list it is not exhaustive in nature. These are the some things which has been published. So from there it has been picked up. Now you can do a research by your own, and if you are interested, you can find the reasons other than this also. First one is increased affluence. That is to tell, the majority of the population, especially in developed economies, and the significant groups which are there in developing economies, has become more affluent. No, that is to tell the 250 million strong middle income households which is there in India and their desire for a variety of products and services attract many multinational companies to the country. So the demand for personal services, travel, tourism, entertainment, clubs, and like greatly depend on the affluence of the society. Now if travelers have little money, they carry their luggage themselves. Now, if they are affluent, they engage a porter for the same job. So, this affluence reduces the scope of self-services and it creates opportunities for many service people and organizations, Affluence, in simple words, is something which is affordable. That is to tell, now if you earn well, if you can afford maybe to move from Bangalore to Bombay, you might travel through plane. Now, if so much is not affluent, then you would go by the roadways or by railways. Now, affluence is to tell that the income, the level of income what people are earning has been increasing day by day. And this is one of the reasons which is giving importance for the service sector. The next one is more leisure time. This is to tell you can observe the trend that people across the world want increasingly more leisure, especially to engage in personal and family activities. Now there is a significant change in defining, the holidays or leisure period. Now even we can observe this in semi-urban and rural areas of India also. Now, apart from traveling, this entertainment, personal care, people now spend more time on education, training, and skill development for themselves as well as for their children also. And the third one we have is that um, increased percentage of working women. Now we can see a steady rise in the percentage of employed women in many of the economies all over the world. And this has also helped the growth of service which can reduce their burden. Now more affluent than their non-working counterparts, now these women they have led to an increased demand for services, especially such as babysitting, household domestic health, health services, the fitness services or special education service and such other which might reduce their burden. And the fourth one that we can observe is the growth in the population of dinks. Now, what are these dinks? This is such a group of people where there is dual income and no kid or kids. So, such couples are called as dinks. That is dual income, no kid or kids. So, it refers to couples who are too busy with their respective careers to have children. Now, more often than not, such people postpone starting a family till it is too late to do so. Now, in some societies where the divorce rate is high and marriage is perceived as a short-term relationship, especially in such societies, neither partner prefers to have children, you know, whose future is uncertain if the marriage fails. So in many developed society, drink is on the rise. So drink couples, they spend liberally on services because they would be having a lot of money and they would see to that their life is somehow becomes luxurious and comfortable. Next one is um, greater life expectancy. Now this increase the standard of living and the prosperities that we can see in the economy. These two things they have resulted in greater life expectancy. And also there is advancement in medical field. And as a result of all this, there has been a significant growth in the population of senior citizens, which is accompanied by a greater demand for nursing home and healthcare services. with the increasing population of the elderly. Now, if you see the census of 2001, in India, the population above the age of 60 years had increased from 14.13 billion in 1981 to 76.62 million in 2001. And now it's 20 years after that. So you can guess, as to how this particular part of the economy is increasing, which demands more and more services. Then there is greater complexity of products. Now the rapid pace which is happening in technology, it offers greater choice. It allows people to regularly use, increasingly complex products, especially such as computers, smartphones, automobiles, kitchen appliances, and many other things. So the need specialist for maintenance and repair of all these things. Therefore, the demand for such services is growing day by day. The next one is the greater complexity that is there in the life. Now, if we observe in today's society, the people they are required to play a number of roles. Now, when they have to, play a number of roles, there is a demand for such services that can reduce or share their burden. So, as such, there is an increased demand for income tax consultants, legal consultants, counseling, or employment service, and labor supply service, or even for baby care centers and so on. So all these, complexities that individual is facing in today's world, it is also one of the reasons which has helped in the service industry to grow in terms of number and also in terms of the service that is produced by this particular industry. The next reason is greater concern for resource scarcity. Now there is a majority of the population, which is despite the limited or scarce financial resource, they want to avail and utilize a number of services. Now, owning a tangible product for various services requires financial strength. So, on the other hand, many such goods may not be used to the optimum capacity by individuals. And hence, there is a demand for leisure service such as, car rentals, computer hardware rentals, accommodation, and also door-to-door service. The next point speaks that nowadays there is a greater concern for ecology. In these recent years, there are many economists which have become way too much concerned about the environment and also the ecological balance that has to be maintained. Now, the governments of various countries they have taken the responsibilities to promote various public organizations to protect the environment from pollution and other hazards and to maintain the ecology through the conservation of forests, protection of animals, birds, insects, and other important aspects. Now, they have been using various media for campaigning and taking up several programs to make people participate in the process. Now schemes like, if you see in India, we have Vana Mahotsava and water conservation for example. Now Vana Mahotsava is something which is celebrated so that we can protect the forest of the nation, or we take the initiative of planting the saplings and looking after those. And next one is increasing number of new products. Now consumers, they have been exposed to a wide variety of choice in the recent years. The life of the products and service is very much shrinking owing to the rapid introduction of new or improved products. That is to tell, now if you buy a smartphone today, you might want to change it within 2 years, whether it is working all fine or not. Now this happens because of the rapid increase in the technology. Now, consumers being very busy, they are unable to understand a product completely before taking a decision to purchase the product or service. So, as such, consultancy services are also enjoying increased demand. That is to tell, now if a person, if an individual, if he wants to invest in shares, now there are complex information inputs of the share market. Now all this might certainly drive that individual to confusion and also greater uncertainty. And to solve this problem, we can have the consultancy service of brokers. So these brokers or these consultancy services, they facilitate a smooth process. Now earlier, way back when share market was started, we did not have an option of this consultancy service. Now individual investors or brokers who had gone there, who had learned things from trial and error basis, they were the ones who were investing. Now even an individual such as anybody who need not have a huge knowledge of this field, but on payment or on payment for consultancy service, they can have an access to all these services in the market. And not but last, we can speak about the young. What is this young? Now it represents the younger generation. Now this younger generation, it tends to use more and more services than the older generation who depends on themselves for a number of activities. Now the younger generation would be able to cope up with the pace of change only through consumption of a number of services. That is to tell, a graduate um, might be in computers. This individual, he can learn new language during the course, but then it takes a lot of time. Now by the time this individual has expertise in a language, there is a danger that the program may get outdated. So they prefer to take training through other institutions so that they can be competitive. And even this has increased the demand for services. So these are some of the reasons why there is growth in the service sector. Now this is for in general for all the economists all over the world. The reasons that are being given here are very general in terms. Now you can also give reasons such as uh, the technology has increased so much that it is not only increased. Now using it also has become more easier than what it was before 50 years. And also, because of the rapid development that is happening, the technology is also becoming cheaper and cheaper day by day. On one side, the technologies are becoming cheaper. On the other hand, you have affluence. Now, these two reasons contribute a lot for using the service services more and more. We can observe, take a self-example of yourself. Now, before 10 years or before 15 years, what we had for our internet connection was nothing but a broadband connection. But now, and maybe for one house we had one connection. But now each individual over their phone they would have access to internet. Now all these reasons there might be a small things what is happening. But when we consider all the things together, if these small reasons are the ones which are helping the service industry to grow very much in number. Now, if that is in that is in telecommunication sector, and yes, now we can also say this. You know, what has happened with the COVID-19? Now, COVID-19 made everyone sit at home. Now, it made everybody sit at home, especially at that particular time when the entire world had become something like global village. People could travel from one place to another part of the world or across the globe within 24 hours. When the world was having such a development, it made everybody sit in the world. I mean, sit at home. But this did not stop the world in spinning, in terms of service industry. Now, yes, the transportation stopped, but then the telecommunication increased. People started to have connection through, the video calls, everything. From face to face, it shifted towards the telecommunication. So yes, one field might have, decreased, but the other one is increasing. And earlier, because of the cost that was involved, people used to use public transports more. But now with the personal traveling experiences becoming less and less expensive, people are more dependent on their personal vehicles. So they use it. And all these are small reasons, but as we discussed earlier, altogether they are the reasons which are helping the service sector to increase day by day. Now, when you see or go through your syllabus, there is something called as service marketing activities. Now, I did go through many of the textbooks and also internet sources. But then I was unable to find something called as service marketing activities. Now, if at all I find information with regard to that, definitely I will share. But than activities, what we have to discuss and what it has been skipped in your syllabus is the service marketing strategies. Now, there are some of the strategies which we have to use, especially when it comes to marketing of services, and that we shall see. Now, this marketing. Now, when it comes to service, it differs from promoting a tangible product because consumers they often need to be educated about a service. Now, service marketing it often requires more explanation as to why customer needs this particular product. They need explanation as to how it works and why a particular company are the best entity to deliver the service. The best example is the education. Now, a college should be able to promote itself with respect to why is it that the parents have to, get their students admitted to that particular college. What is that college can give which others are unable to give? So that is how much explanation a service would be requiring more when compared to a product. Now what happens with the product? The consumers would know that they need certain particular product, and among the choices that they can have, they would be selecting one. Whereas when it comes to service, often there are chances that some of the service the consumer or the customer they need not actually need, but then the service promoter they might be able to pursue these customers to buy the product. And as we tell this, remember one thing, when we speak or when we refer something to be a product can either be a good or it can be a service. Now, if at all an individual is a solo promoter or a solo entrepreneur, selling a unique skill and having a unique selling skill, such entrepreneurs are even more under the gun to explain what you know what is that using. So using a multi pronged educational approach for marketing a service will be the best to boost sales. Now, when service firms think of marketing strategy, they usually consider outbound and direct techniques. Now, outbound and direct techniques is messages that are sent straight to the prospective customers or the clients. So, the goal in this approach is to be persuasive and compelling so that the audience responds and also engage themselves in the service that is being offered. So these techniques they will be undeniably become vogue as long as marketing exists. But service marketing strategies we have to see that they have evolved over the years. Now, especially after the arrival of the digital market, the way the service has to be marketed has undergone a lot of change. Now, the behavior of service buyers has changed. Now, they are more likely to carry out an internet search to find a service firm and probably read client reviews to evaluate their services. So this in fact, it has broadened the range of service marketing strategies. And now staying competitive in today's world means taking the fullest advantage of variety of strategies that is present. In that regard, we have four. That is reference, education, demonstration, and social media. Now, speaking about reference, now one of the best way to market an intangible product is through word of mouth. That is to tell, a happy customer will not wait to be asked about a service from friends and will often want to share her experience or their experience and tell people why he or she likes the service. Now, some service providers use referral programs as an integral part of their marketing. You might observe, some of the services, especially one who has used it, they would be speaking, positive about the product or how they used to be before they use the product and how it has changed their current situation. You might have observed this over advertising. Now you can offer clients a cash bonus for each reference they send out to you. So offer them a free service for each lead or offer their friend a reduced rate on service if they mention the customer. So this is the one thing that we can use in service marketing. Second one is education. Now another way to market a service is to provide customer education. So you can do this by offering free seminars or lunch and learns or other educational meetings. So you can write articles for magazines and newspaper and also you can give talks at trade shows and conferences. Now with an educational marketing strategy, one do not emphasize product features or price, but the benefits of the using services is what shall be spoken of. Now, for that matter, take into consideration an individual owns a dog grooming business. So, such an individual, he might write or she might write articles for local newspaper discussing the effect of pet ticks and fleas on a family's health and a pet's well-being, showing how regular grooming can elevate these problems. And then we have demonstration. Now customers might be, gun shy about trying a service if they aren't sure what they are getting. Now offering free demonstration helps ease their concerns and can result in immediate sales. For example, if if you offer personal training, you might contact a large company with a wellness program and also offer to give an employee talk and free exercise class. Now, if at all you offer public relations service, you might offer you might offer meet with a business owner, discuss his current marketing strategy, and also suggest some peer initiatives that these people could try and outline the cost to do such activities. Yes. And the last one and the biggest one and in today's business of today's business world, the one thing which influences the most, that is social media. Now the social media, they are very hard to escape. Now with millions of people sending text and emails to friends when they see interesting items, they would want to share. Now they can also be an inexpensive way for smaller business with few advertising money to make an impact. And a social media marketing strategy, let service providers take advantage of free tools such as Facebook and Twitter to educate consumers and get them to spread the word to their network of contacts. So with Facebook, for example, you can create a free business page that lets you, detail your service. You put customer testimonials and case histories on your page or run contests offering a cash prize or a free session or visit. Now, place Facebook like buttons on your website pages to encourage visitors to share what they find with friends. Now send Twitter messages that give customers free tips. For example, a landscraper might tweet, a landscraper might tweet, watering your lawn more than once per week isn't necessary. Once a week for 30 minutes is all you need. So social media is first thing introduced digital marketing, which is having a lot of influence over how the marketing of services can be done. Now, in this digital marketing, it is easier to get information of the services than before. So, some of the marketing strategies, uh, so these are types of service marketing strategies. So, these are marketing strategies for service marketing. Okay. Now, the first one is that we can do a market research. Now, uh, we have to understand that today research is the bedrock for all marketing efforts. Now, from marketplace to brand research and exhaustive scientific studies, it can help our organization to take more informed decisions. Now, it will also lend an organization take objective basis for service marketing, and also it extends valuable baselines to measure the results as well. Now all this research, it helps organization to understand the customers in a better way. Now market researchers, they give an insight about how business processes are performing. Now, one organization will know on what counts the company is performing and what marketing strategy in service sector has to take to spring up the business. So the impact of market research is obvious. Now studies have revealed that firms carry out systematic research regarding their prospects. Now clients often grow, 3 to 10 times faster and are up to twice more profitable than peers who don't carry out any research. The next one in that regard is niche strategy. So what possibly could be this niche strategy? Now, being a market specialization student, you should know in exact terms what is niche. So I give you this work for this weekend. Please go and understand what niche is all about. And I don't want you to know about niche in one sentence. One sentence, you just Google it, you'll get it what niche is. But I want you to understand niche as a topic. As such a topic where you should be able to speak about niche not less than 10 minutes straight. So that is how much you have to learn about what niche is all about. Now, being a market specialized student, it becomes very much important that you know what niche is. Okay? So one of the most important business considerations for service marketing is niche targeting and specialization. So the research that has been done, it has shown that some of the fastest growing service firms, they are specialists in a carefully selected niche. So the niche must be a sector of the industry which you thoroughly understand, or a space where you can become an undisputed leader and expert. Now specialization can make all the difference to your marketing efforts. Now it defines what you do exactly, and also it is something which distinguishes your organization from that of your competitors. So specialization is a differentiator which can prove itself. Now what is niche? Niche, it can be small, but it should be a specialized market for a particular product or services. Now, it can be small, it can be big, but it should be such a segmentation of the market which you can define through the unique needs or the preference or the identity that it has. The next one is high performance website. Now in the professional service marketplace today, one's company's website will be one among the most important assets the organization has. Now, this website, it shall be something much more than just a digital board. Now, as many companies believed in the past, now a good website, it shall be the center of services firm's online presence, as well as an info-rich projection of the expertise that the organization has in the marketplace. Now this website becomes very much important because now that is the first place where your organization and the customer will have engaged. Okay? Now the information that is present in the website becomes very much important because there are a lot of chances that many of the customers, they might be residing in such a place where they would be unable to come physically, see your organization and later on have a connection with the organization. So what links your organization with your customer is nothing but your website. So the information that has been put up there, the way it has been set up, how user friendly it is, all these things become important. Now, believe it or not, when it comes to marketing, it might be any kind of product. The first thing that customers want to see is the price of the product, isn't it? So, my question is that there are some of the website we just place the product and may not be the price. So, what is your opinion? You know, mentioning the price of the product, will it grab more attention from the customers? Or is it that you just display the product? If people are interested, they would ask. So what is your opinion is the second question. So I have given two of the work for today. One is you have to know about the niche. Second one is about the price of a product. I'll repeat the question. So being a marketer, the second question I would like to have an answer for this. Now being a marketer, what is your opinion? Now for promoting a product, whether the price of the product is should be displayed or it should not be you know displayed. What is your opinion and why? Please explain. These two questions I would like to have a answer in the next session. Okay, now continuing with the third point. Now this website, now it is a major tool to build brand visibility. Now prospective clients, they usually search online to hire service providers. So you must have an easy navigable website where people find all the information they need and you land a better chance of winning a business. Now beside the website, will help a business to demonstrate its expertise and also grab better acceptability in the marketplace. Now it's usually seen that around 80% of the people they normally hunt online for service marketing firms. So the internet has also emerged as the commonest source of all kinds of information that an individual can have. When a visitor lands on your company's website, there should be robust information and it should be carefully devised offers should present so that all these things can drive to closure engagements with the customer. Now it eventually brings qualified businesses to your organization. Now the process to nurture leads through the content that has been displayed in your website. So basically the content should be such that it should grab the attention of the customer. Now they may be persuaded to buy it, they may not. But the success of this digital marketing can happen only when more and more people attention would be able to be grabbed by that particular advertisement. So the second component of the website which one must consider is the design. The graphic and the web designs they can greatly influence audience perception and aid to recall and intuitively and swiftly differentiate business. So the power of a good website design is often undermined. Now this in turn gives a tremendous opportunity to a company to set it apart from the rest of competition and convey the credibility that's needed to drive home the rewards. So the power of good website design it is often undermined, and this normally it gives opportunities uh, for any business to set itself apart from the other competitors, and also it would be able to speak about its credibility that is necessary to take home the rewards. Now, the compatibility of the business website over a wide range of devices is also important. That is to tell, Your website should be such that it should be able to include computers, Androids, tabs, mobile, and other common things which are used by customers. So responsive designs which allows a website to suit a viewer's device has become one of the key features for business as more people are using mobile and handheld devices for business. So Google have already begun to rank websites that are more mobile friendly, higher up the search results. So making a website responsive is now a necessity for service marketing firms. The fourth one with that regard is search engine optimization. Now, as already discussed before, the target audience they must be able to land on the website without any problem. So the website must be effective in that way. And this is where search engine optimization comes in. So much is its importance in the online service marketing puzzle that high growth companies they consider search engine optimization as one of the most important strategies which is available to drive the traffic. That is to tell, it is able to grab the attention of more and more customers. Now, the search engine optimization is an always evolving element, but it is still a very complex discipline. Now, if we have to speak about search engine optimization in general, it comprises of two major composites. That is, one is online site or on-site search engine optimization, and the other one is off-site search engine optimization. Now, when we speak about this on-site search engine optimization, now this technique it normally uses targeted keywords for communicating the content of the website, which will appeal to target audience. Now, keyword phrases typically focuses on the service that offers and helps search engines to come up with more relevant data to searches. And when the audience searches for some insights on service area of specialization, they land on the website. That is how on-site search engine optimization works. Now, whereas off-site search engine optimization, now it takes the form of backlinks to the website, whether via guest articles on other websites or through third-party engagement. So these efforts they increase the website's authority as an acknowledged leader in the area of interest. So as most relevant and highly quality website links to your particular business website, popular search engines will understand your credibility leading to higher rankings. The next one that we have is social media. Now, there is nothing more to speak about how important social media is for service marketing. Now, if you require more evidence about the relevance of social media for professional service, some of the information is that there are more than 60% of all kinds of buyers check new service providers over the social media, which makes it one of the commonest used information source than formal recommendations or referrals. Now, in fact, The nature of referrals has changed with the arrival of social media. Now we spoke about referral, right? So a recent referral marketing study found that nearly 17% of all expertise-based referrals, they are carried out on the basis of social media interactions. It is simply put, the social media acts as an accelerator to reach your expertise. Now there is reputation and content to your target customers. So all this helps a business to connect to valuable influencers and contacts along with monitoring brand through social listening. And then comes one of the most important strategies, that is advertising. Now advertising is something which, being a marketer, we can study it as entirely one single discipline. You can spend hours together, months together, and there will still be much more to what advertising is all about. But to speak about it in terms of strategy, there are several platforms on which our business can advertise its services. So it commonly includes service industry websites or the service industry's publication. It includes social media. It includes Google AdWords, search engine marketing, Yahoo, Bing, and other portals, and many much more. Now, in understanding this advertising, you have to understand something, that is one of the things, that is retargeting. So what is this retargeting? Now it is a cookie based technology which uses a JavaScript code for anonymously following the businesses or the product's audience across the internet and serve relevant advertisement. So advertising doesn't merely promote your service marketing. It also plays a major role to drive content downloads, thereby increasingly both visibility and expertise. Remember, when you have to market your service, to use the various forms of advertising that best matches your professional service. Now there are networks linked like LinkedIn and other service industry oriented advertising which often works best. Now these networks, they allow to directly target the appropriate customer segment which leads to more conservation, better click rates and lower download cost. So search engine marketing, on the other hand, is usually more expensive and harder to target for extending professional service. So Facebook advertisement at the same time could be less than effective because it is less used by professional service customers than other similar networks. So it needs to be remembered at the same time that there are several variations of each types of advertisement. That is, a service marketing firm may find them somewhat successful depending upon the advertisement purpose, budget, targeting, or the industry niche. Now, I want you to do one more work. So this weekend is going to be a very big weekend for you all. So now I give work because these things They're interesting to learn, and I can remember it only when I speak of it. There aren't chances that I can remember it some other time. So one more work is, you might have seen the advertisement of CRED or CRED. So I want you to speak about how is it different from other advertising. The advertisement of CRED. So what strategy are they following, and how is it different from others? Is it able to engage customers by using such a different strategy, or why is it that they are doing so? I want your opinion on this. Once again, I will repeat the three different questions. First one is, you'll have to understand all about niche. The second one is your opinion with regards to whether the price has to be displayed along with the product which is being promoted or not. Your opinion and why. And the third one was the advertising strategy of Crit. So I want you all to do these three things. You never know, it might be accepted as your assignment as well. So I want you all to do work on it. Or I might also ask you to present on it. So I don't, yes, yes, Jarnal. I don't understand the last question that we have to do. Yes. Strategy of. Yes, I'll repeat. I'll repeat it. Okay. Yes. Now continuing with this, the next one is referral service marketing. So what is this referral service marketing? Now we saw referral as a type of strategy, and it again we are having here it as referral service marketing. So the nature of professional service referrals, it has changed over the years. So this has impacted service marketing strategy in a big way. Now it has been found out that more than 81% of service providers have received referrals from people who were never a client before. So, but from where do all these referrals come from? So, the answer is most of them they come from the firm's expertise or from the reputation. So, content marketing is something which can be used in connection with the tactics mentioned. Okay. Now, in this way, organization can build goodwill for their brand and get widespread reputation, especially for the domain which they specialize. So the organization is able to build a brand recall among the audience that may not have worked before. So this in turn leads to more referral and new business. A referral is nothing but the word of mouth, isn't it? The next one is marketing automation, CRM, and lead nurturing. Now, along the way or in other different marketing specialization subjects, you might have come across all these words. That is market automation, CRM, and lead nurturing. What are these? So, let us see the first one. What is marketing automation? Now, this particular marketing automation, it replaces manual, repetitive, and high-touch manual process with the automated ones. So the changeover is supported by technology. Now automation, it brings together all the online service marketing channels into a single centrally managed system to create, manage and measure campaigns and programs. So, like any other technological tool, it is important that one business should be able to select the correct service marketing automation software which must be suitable for the organization. Now, the complexity, scalability, and size of the solution must be good match for the organization's requirements. So that is marketing automation. Some repetitive things which can be complex or simple, it can be changed into automative ones. Now the advantage of that is it definitely reduces the cost and also people can concentrate more on other important things in the organization. Then comes customer relationship management or what we call as CRM. Now, in your last year's value supply chain management, you had this particular CRM in chapter 2, if I am not wrong. So, another valuable software is the customer relationship management system. So, a large number of companies they use CRMs for tracking and organizing client information and sourcing opportunities. So a CRM model in short can help one organization to stay connected and organized, regardless of how complex the operations become. So the CRM system functions as a database for all the connected information about clients and opportunities, including detailed notes about the interaction. Information can be keyed in, stored, and accessed by staff as and when it is necessary. So it leads to the synchronization of efforts across various departments in the organization. Now to speak about CRM, there is a lot to it. Okay, you have on-site CRM, you have cloud-based CRM, you have how traditional CRM used to work, how it is now. CRM is something where you collect information about your customers basically. And on the basis of the information that you have collected, you see to that you use it in such a way that you are able to make better customer engagement for your business organization. It can be before sales service, it can be after sales service. Everything that you do in CRM is that you see to that you have more and more customers. You have new customers, you grab potential customers, you retain the ones who are there. And earlier maybe the CRM was into the marketing department, but now CRM is used in almost all the departments of the organization and even IT can use this CRM. Okay? Now there is a lot more to CRM than how much can be said in 5 minutes. Now if you feel this particular topic to be interesting, please do go and see what CRM is all about. Now, once again, being going to be in the marketing field, we'll have to know what CRM is all about. Is it important? Why do we have to have it? Or what happens in today's world if we do not have it? Whether we'll be able to manage a business organization by not having a CRM for our company? Is it very much necessary? So all these things, it is not there in syllabus. It is something that you'll have to learn beyond your syllabus. Now, what is there in syllabus is the theory. Now, what from that you'll have to pick is some practical aspects that you'll have to know. Now, all these things you'll have to do on your own. You'll have to see what CRM is, why is it important. Now, if you need, definitely I can help you all, especially and only to those who are interested. Those who are interested, you can ask. I will let you all know. Now, the third one in the eighth point was the lead nurturing. Now, this lead nurturing, it specially speaks that CRM is not the end of bagging new clients. And it tells that one organization has to remember that the lead nurturing funnel given, it is something which helps in engaging new clients. So the website is an important part of the puzzle. Now, email marketing is also equally important. Now, analytics driven and targeted email service marketing campaigns help business organization deliver both, hard and soft offers for particular types of buyers. Now, tailored to their demands or drip email campaigns. And on the other hand, it also allows the business organization to send targeted offers for segments in audience over a particular period of time. Now it forges a much closer engagement between the service provider and the client and educates via relevant and successive offers and content. And the next point is testing and optimization. So what is this? Now testing and optimization, it allows the business organization to schedule marketing efforts and take decisions based on hard facts and not presumption. Now while research is at the base of marketing, testing and optimization is a continuous guide. So testing of marketing campaigns should never stop, but they can be adjusted according to the market demands. Now, in that regard, we have two, that is A/B testing of landing pages and emails, and landing and email page rendering. And the last one is analytical and reporting. Now, it's always important to analyze the proper metrics to measure results effectively. But business organization, they must have tools in place for collecting the accurate data. Now, this definitely includes social media, the business organization's website, and search engine optimization. Now, among all other, Google Analytics is a crucial tool to measure and analyze the traffic landing on your site. So, the business organization can improve the SEO result with MOZ, while CodeShoot and similar tools can provide detailed social media analytics. So regular analyzing and testing will help one business to understand what's working and what's not. So use all this wisely. They will help to turn service marketing efforts from an art to what can be called as a science. So the most important thing is not to grow, you know, complacent of how you have been doing professionally. Now, to remain competitive, one organization must have to regularly put their service marketing strategies under the scanner, assess them, and identify areas for improvement. So, business organization they must realize that online and digital marketing domain is evolving much faster than any other of their peers. So, service marketing firms that successfully collect and utilize data about their performance, cutting across a range of marketing efforts, will emerge as leaders. But a firm must have the will to succeed as its chief goals, which no strategy is likely to work. So, this is some of the marketing strategies for service marketing. Now, the next one is service process. Well, service process, I would be unable to tell it in 6 minutes. So, I would like to start it over in the next class.